So welcome back. Just me today. You're going to be making some templates for some shuttering when we put the ballast back in. I feel like we should have shuttering against the hull so the ballast isn't actually in direct contact, and it will also leave an air gap so we can breathe. So let's have a look, shall we? So as you might notice, this isn't painted, and I think in the last video you saw this getting fully painted again. Because you know what Gemma's like with her paint, she wants it absolutely... I think she wants to eat her dinner down here, maybe, I'm not too sure. But it's just going to be full of ballast and all sorts of smeg into it. But yeah, so she wants to give it a nice paint, so I wanted to come in here early before she painted and make some templates for all these pieces of plywood that we're going to cut. So the ply, I think, is going to sit up here and then come down, and then we're going to be putting like blocks in around here to carry the ply, so fore and aft, and then the same on those. It's just to sort of spread the load a bit of the ballast. I'm a bit concerned about it moving. Not that it's going to be staying, it's going to be coming out at some point, but we need somewhere to put it for now, because if you remember, we put it all the way down, it's all underneath here where the water tanks go. So we obviously don't know our ballast calculations, but the previous owners obviously thought it needed ballast in this local area. I've done quite a bit of research in ballast, so we'll get to that a couple of years down the line, but for now it's going to go back here because that's where it was. So let's get to using some cardboard for some templates. So now I've done a rough measure. This is the aft ones, which are these two, and then mid and then forward. So I'm going to go and cut these pieces of the cardboard now to these rough dimensions. I've got the widths right, but obviously they are relatively parallel as they go down, but then this one might be up here, so we can then adjust with the cardboard. But rather than use a massive sheet, we'll go upstairs, we'll cut out some of these average widths so we can sort of get them in, and then we can start tailoring the cardboard then to suit. And once that's done, then we can then transfer that onto the plywood. So I've got our cardboard laid out. We could transfer the measurements we made earlier onto the cardboard, and then see if they fit. So between making the templates, I just thought it was a bit dirty in the bilge. It'd be good to like bit of clean it before before Gemma paints it. A couple of days time. So I thought, ooh, we've got a through hole there. So I opened it up and then started scrubbing. But I may as well share that with you because it's quite entertaining. Yeah. This is probably where the handle snaps off on me. That's enough cleaning, so I think we'll get back onto template making. Well, I'm going to drain all this out first, but then we'll get back into it. So I kind of regret putting water in the bilge because it was just taking me ages to like hoover it all up and stuff. Right, so here's the template we made earlier, so obviously it fits between the two webs. So now we need to set the angle at the bottom and then the angle for the stringer then, don't we? we take 100 ml. Okay. So I'm going to go and cut this now, then that one will be done. So this one's number 6, and this way is up. Cool, so yeah, it fits nice along the lower stringer, and then we've got like an air gap at the bottom then to let it vent. Cool, cool. So I'm going to repeat the process through 543. Yeah, you know what I mean. So made all our templates, made one extra one. Can you tell where this one's going to go? So what we need to now is get a sheet of plywood out. So I'm using 18mm, obviously marine ply, but it's behind the couch. So we've got to get that out, drag it down to this area here, so we can then work flat on the floor. So, do you want to watch me struggle with it? Okay, follow along. Thing with being a big boat when you've got loads of space, but usual thing, if you've got space you fill it, don't you? So these are obviously spare off the roof, so it's good to finally use them because they've been knocking about around the boat for a while. Okay, so they're all drawn out now. I'm sure there's a more efficient way of doing it, but I'm a bit tired and a bit late, and it's a bit late, so all on the board, all numbered. So yeah, gonna give them all a cut now, and then we can epoxy all the edges. Okay, so it's a few days later, got all my pieces cut. So before we prepare the edges and stuff like that, we need to do a test fit, because obviously you work from a template, then yeah. So we'll give them a quick test fit, and then we'll give them all a nice sand, and then we'll seal the edges some way, somehow. So we've actually got a helper today, which is Gemma! So maybe we can get Gemma to like paint the boards, and we'll try and make it her idea. Forgot what my t-shirt says.
I will not quit, but I will swear a hell of a lot.
There you go. That's today's motto, I think. So we'll get Gemma to test my work. So I can't remember which is up and down, but I've got them numbered. So here's number 4. Let's see if we can work out this puzzle. No, yeah, that looks good.
Very tight, darling.
Maybe we'll film 1, 2 and 3 once we've figured this out.
So when Simon makes something, he's like, he likes to do stuff like precision to like the 0.1 of a mil. But the issue that we've got now that he's made the templates for these bits and cut the wood, they're too precise and there's no wiggle room. So by the time we've treated the edges of the ply, they're going to be really tight to get them in. So we're just going to give them all a little plane back just to take a little bit off them so they go in nice and easier and then they don't damage the edges that we treat.
That's my trademark thumbs up.
And then we've got some painting to do, hasn't we?
Yes.
Got little Patrick back with us today.
Yeah.
You're going to help me, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
So at the minute we're just sorting out the shuttering and cutting and trimming it where it needs to be cut and trimmed. Aren't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this side here where the big line is. Yes. Okay. There we go. So I'll mark them all and then we'll cut them. Okay. All marked.
Yeah.
Time to get the saw out.
Did she get it on the line?
Yeah.
That's quite good, that.
Do you know what's great? Being able to stand up and cut on this workbench and not be like kneeling on the floor like we usually are. Happy days. It's just the simple things in life that make me happy. Right then, so what we're going to do is we're going to sand the edges for me.
Can you explain what this is? Because I've not explained what this is.
Wood. Hold on, we've got a dusty camera. So we're using 18mm marine ply for the shuttering because we had some spare from the roof.
I just asked Emma, can you explain what this is? And she said it's wood and it's 80mm marine ply. Yeah, it's great that, but I've not actually explained what this triangle shape is.
Oh, I thought you meant the wood we're using. So we're making sort of like a bulkhead. It's not a watertight bulkhead or anything by any means, but it's just an extra segregation for the ballast and stuff. Because where this is, behind this is going to be the water tank, and forwards of it is ballast. So it's just a bit of extra protection so the ballast doesn't sort of move back. Is that right?
Yes. And it's a triangle. I like triangles because triangles are strong, so bonus.
So yeah, so that's an extra part to our shuttering. Right, back to sanding.
So the triangle shaped piece is going to be going across there. So if you look down, none of it is very square. There's a variance of like 20mm from there to there, and here and here. So basically it's all a bit wonky, but does it have to be that good? I don't think so. Maybe over the years it's changed. Anyway, so right across the top of the ply we need something to carry the top of the ply, because it's going to be a bit, essentially it could flex, but I want to keep it as straight as possibly can, because that's when it's at its strongest. So we're going to be getting loads from the hull and loads from the ballast potentially, so I need something to keep it straight. So I've got a piece of frame, so now I'm going to fit that into there, but we have to have like a taper going off down there. Yeah, so I'm going to mount that up, mark out, and hopefully cut it out. Then we've got something nice to screw the top edge of our ply to, and then the rest of the ply screws onto these webs all the way down there. So that's my job for the next hour or two. Okay, so it's all marked out. Don't know if you can tell like how odd it is. So you're gonna watch me now try and cut this out.
So why are we doing this?
We're doing this so it makes it a bit more waterproof, and like it makes it more, and it seals it.
That's it.
Good man. So
we're sealing all the end grain of the marine ply with some epoxy.
So using thinned epoxy or using thickened epoxy?
I'm using slightly thickened epoxy.
Slightly thickened.
Yes.
Oh,
So
like
it's not the normal hard peanut butter consistency. It's a bit more watery.
Ah,
We'll see.
Cool. Oh, beautiful.
And then we've cut the paintbrushes a bit shorter, haven't we? So we can like stipple it in.
So it looks like this will take a while, so we'll check back in with these guys in a minute. I'm going to go and now try and do some chiseling, which should be interesting.
With my dad.
Last time he put a chisel through his foot.
Yeah, last time I went through 3 fingers at once. No, I've used chisels, but this is going to be like a bit of a trial. So I've just sharpened my chisel on the bench grinder, because this is my like go-to chisel for anything. Chisel out tar, trying to remove an old bolt. So I'm not very good with chisels, so. Oh yeah. So I think if the chisel was a bit sharper, then that would have been quite a success. But what I'm going to do now is get a quick test fit. There's no point proper dialing it in, is there, if it doesn't fit anywhere close. And then we'll give it a final sand, and then we'll send it off to the epoxy team. So strangely, she actually fits quite nice. It's basically a tiny bit off this corner here. Give it a quick floppy, and then we'll get it epoxied. So I asked for them to epoxy it, and they basically handed me the epoxy, so. Better than you, Jem.
Patrick, look at all the fellas just stood round doing nothing while you're the only one working.
Work faster.
Prove break.
I'm not Russian.
You Russian?
No?
He's doing a good job there, aren't you?
Yeah.
What have you been doing? Muddy arms.
Digging holes in the mud.
Not boat related, he just likes digging holes in the mud.
Well, I'll show you in a minute. We've dug a trench. But yeah, so.
Hi.
Hi.
Not yet, maybe later. So yeah, we basically dug a hole. Don't know why.
So it is, what time is it?
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, Alexa. Yeah, it is. It's 2 minutes past 6. Patrick has done a very long, hard shift today, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's been a fab help. You've done painting. You've done sanding.
Mhm.
You've done epoxying.
Mhm.
You've helped me with the tar.
Mhm.
So
And now it's time to go.
time to go. So I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your help, dear.
Okay.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
So, all made, painted, tested about 4 times, been epoxied the edges. Did I mention they've been painted? May have. Right, so it's about time to start assembling now, which is quite exciting because it means this area is nearly done. So we're going to start with our big triangle shape, how to film, that we're posting away. Right, so which is the first bit? Funny wedgy finger that I chiselled.
Ta-da!
Please.
So on the back of these shuttering, we've put these blocks. So then that'll span, the top will go onto the stringer and this block will span the frames. So it just takes the pressure off one spot and it's more even, isn't it?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Number 5. Done. So we've just put some limber holes in the bulkhead. Pieces of wood, no, yeah, down there. So now the bilge can drain all the way through to this back one where we've got a pump. So all we've got to do now is put the ballast back, and then the floors can go down, and it's done.
So you're going to do this ballast today?
No.
We're not doing the ballast today. We'll wait for a team, shall we? Yeah, get a team, because we need to like position it all dead nice, don't we? So I think that's a job for another day.
So, apart from the ballast going in, front bilge, done.
Woo!
Yay!
Yep, alright.
So that's like,
Is that us over now?
Is that about 6 foot of bilge done?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite a complicated area, this, to be honest with you. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of, obviously, we have to set the ballast out.
So we've got 66 foot of bilge still to go.
No, it's easy. It gets better as we go down, trust me.
Yeah, it does, it does.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Right then, call it a day. Thank you so much for watching.
Cheers, guys.
Please like and subscribe and all that stuff.
All that jazz.
Because it does help,
I
apparently.
don't know, apparently so, but...
It helps our morale.
Yeah, morale's good. Yeah.
So,
Tell your friends as well.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone you know might like us.
And if you do want to support the project, come over to Patreon. You know, you get more behind the scenes and early access to the videos, ad free and all that. So.
Yeah. We've also got a Facebook page.
Yes, that's free to join.
It's free to join.
Right, see you next week.
See you
Thanks
guys.
for watching.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you as well to little Patrick for all his help today. He's been absolutely awesome. I love having him here working with us. Such a fantastic young man. So, cheers, Patrick.
If you see what we can see, then adventure waits for all of us. There's a place that we should be. Come along, come along.